Pickaxe.
Join us at patreon.com/castparty for a whole plethora of exclusive goodies. 5-day early access to every Cast Party episode, including Nocturne, ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes info, exclusive bonus monthly one-shots, access to our community Discord, where our community plays D&D games together, has game nights, and hosts so much more, all for less than the price of a single cup of coffee per month. Aren't convinced? Try out a free trial. 7 days free to check out the content that we offer only exclusively on our Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. Support your favorite D&D podcast, all while getting some awesome perks. Patreon.com/castparty. See you there, casting crew.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cast Party. My name is Colin McManus, and I will be your director for today. I am joined by Ryan McManus.
Ryan McManus playing Bjorg Jorgensen, the jewel of debauchery.
Anna Brisbane.
Lenore DeVia, Chaos Fairy, excited to push all the buttons.
Nigel Deacon.
Hi, I'm Nigel playing Jackal Campman, the leper and loner striving for companionship and control.
Vince Perino.
Hello, Vince Perino playing Tevin Alkin, the mechanism of discovery, reconstructing memories one piece at a time.
Raquel Skellington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Raquel Skellington. I play Poppy, the tender-hearted giant.
And Luis Carrazzo.
Hello, everybody. I'm Luis Carrazzo playing Santos the Glavinator.
Last time we saw the Glavinator Santos stopping at the orange tree, recounting some of his time at home. He remembered waking up, hearing the dog bark, and having his favorite breakfast every morning in this house, though he expressed it felt like he was watching these memories from the outside, and that he remembered them, but they didn't feel familiar. You crested this hill you were looking so forward to look upon his home, and discovered a field of burnt ash. Santos silently moved to where his home was, only to find a grouping of fireweed flowers coming from this ash. The others moved about the area and noticed there were no signs of old structures, even clearing the ash to show the soil beneath. Santos questioned heavily, but in the end relented, saying this is probably not where he grew up. That night, you all found a comfortable space to sleep. During the night, Tevin dreamt of the house he had seen in his previous dreams, but this time in the burnt field where Santos's should have been. Around his finger, where the ring from Carmina sat, was a key ring. He entered the home with it. It was dark and quiet. He heard a glass shatter and followed the sound to a kitchen where someone had obviously been entertaining. Tevin continued to look about the house, heading upstairs. On his way, there was a crash and a siren. Entering the only room with the door ajar, he found a toy ambulance in a child's room. He found under the bed a shoebox filled with photos labeled AJ's Dreams. The doorbell went off, and outside he found a box filled with a clock and a note. The note told Whitaker to give it to his wife, and that there would be more to come if he kept it up. It was from someone named Ty. Turning the clock on, the clicking awoke Tevin, where he saw the ring on his finger had now changed shape slightly. Continuing your day of travel, you found your way to this next village on the map. Santos and Lenore investigated the lighthouse-looking tower, while Jackal found a recruitment flyer for the Order of the Chrysalis, as well as a message left on the board saying that Hollowglen had not fallen to the Resonance, but had left for Carmarth, the same place the recruitment office was. A small dragon flew out of the chimney of a nearby house surrounded by now lit-up lanterns. Little Monk illuminated a lantern that Jackal was standing under, dousing him in pink light, and Joran shouted from the building asking if you were Resonants or not. Immediately after hearing no, he invited you all in. Little Monk messed about while Joran set you all up with some ale and started cooking some food. Now he sits down with the rest of you in this pretty messy living area. There's a fire roaring in the fireplace. He takes a sip of his ale as Little Monk jumps up onto his rocking chair and curls up around his shoulders. And so the scene is set. The question is... well, spit it out then. What's those serious questions you got to ask?
Well, I feel like the first thing we should ask is, what happened here? Where is everyone? Are you the only person here?
Well, he gestures to Little Monk. Yeah, kind of.
Okay, how about the part one of the question that I asked?
Yeah. sorry. And he takes a big sip of his drink. Well, you see, they all left. They're gone. Karmarth.
Is it like a cult thing? Or were they tricked? Why didn't you go?
Oh, I don't know about a cult. They're going to the Order of the Chrysalis. Is said to help save people, make people stronger.
And you stayed?
Just for now. I'm actually going to meet up with them after. I'm just waiting for my son to get back.
Oh, where's your son?
Well, he left after the Resonant started attacking, after Ilos's orbital fell. And he left in the night and left a note saying he'd be gone, but that he'd come back.
You say where? Why?
Yeah. And from his pocket, he pulls out a note and he gestures it to you.
I'll read it. Dad, don't be mad. Boss, I wanted to say goodbye, but I knew you would stop me. I am going to the observatory. Ever since Ilos fell that night, I know what I saw. I know something happened up there, and now that the resonance has become more hostile and we are running out of safeguards, I just need to know for myself. If anyone would know anything more about what happened last night, it would be those people at the observatory. They watch the orbitals day in and day out. They must know something. I will be back soon. Stay safe and make sure to feed little Monk while I am gone. Tobin.
He left on his own?
What did he see? He knows what he saw?
He always talking about that night and that he was watching the stars when it happened, and he could never explain it. But he said he saw something.
How old is he, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, 48.
Okay.
Oh.
Fuck.
How old are you?
68.
Oh, you look great.
Hang on. I'm going to turn and look to the group. It sounds like he might have seen what happened to Ilos. Not just that Ilos exploded, but if he was looking up at the sky, he saw something happen to Ilos, which is more than any of us can say.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe he's got real good vision. He can see really far, really clear up into space.
And if there's people up at that observatory, then they definitely got a good look.
Yeah.
Telescopes.
I'm kind of like pointedly like not looking at Joran. I'm not ignoring him on purpose, but I'm definitely not looking at him. Like, we don't really have anywhere else to go. Do you guys want to go to this observatory?
Yeah.
Anywhere where there's a possibility of answers is where I want to go.
Agreed.
Could be our only opportunity to get a better look of the orbitals up there.
Would you like us to go find your son?
I mean, if you're going to go that way, that'd be wonderful if you could send him back here.
How much will you pay us?
I step back.
I got stew brewing, and I think I still got some jerky hidden away.
We'll take the job. I'd slam my hand on a table.
All right. And he gets up and he starts heading over to the nearby kitchen. It's an open concept, so it's not quite far away. And he just has a pot of stew boiling up, and he is able to hand you all some various delicacies of mostly just vegetables. He was able to scrounge up a little bit of jerky that immediately Lil Monk is trying to grab from him as often as he can get.
Jordan, a couple questions that I'm sure, and I'll catch myself as we both started talking at the same time. And I have like a notepad out. I got something to write with. I'm in like investigator mode. Jordan, just a couple questions. How long ago since your son left?
It's been about 5-6 days. The rest of the town left about 4 days ago.
Wait, it was... So sorry, Santos. It was that recent since the entire town evacuated.
Well, yeah. Ilos fell, and we started having some issues with the resonance, and some of the townsfolk died, and then we had some issues with not having enough protection, and so when the order came by, we all decided to get going and find somewhere safe.
What was your method of protection against the resonance?
He looks just out this main window here, and he points to one of the lanterns that you've seen. Those guys right there filled with crystal from underneath the city.
We heard of other methods of resonance protection, and this was one of them.
I'm surprised this is such a small city, but I mean, it works. We're just running out.
Why does it hurt?
What do you mean?
It burns.
I mean, it tickles.
You're not afraid you're gonna get cancer?
We don't know if that's a thing here, Lenore.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I don't know. I think that they're doing the protecting. They can't be too bad for us. Keep the resonance away.
Don't mind her.
They don't have cancer here?
Come on, Lenore. Like, Poppy starts, like, pushing Lenore towards the door.
Just one more question, if I can. You said that the people of the town left because something drove them to leave. Was it the fear that these crystals are being depleted? Were they afraid that eventually that would run out? The protection against the resonance was going to run out with that?
Well, yeah, it started with the rations going. You know, that was being hidden from the townspeople. And then we had some incidents of crystals not working when they're supposed to because they were being used well past when they needed. And then we had some people to go down to the mines to try to get more. That day we lost a lot of people.
Those people didn't make it back from the mines?
Some of them did. They just brought something real bad with them too. Listen, it's late and your guys are going to need a place to stay. You're welcome to stay here.
I look out the window.
I believe Lenore and I are on the same page. There are empty upon empty houses here. Why can't we all just take one for the night?
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, it's been getting worse here. It's why the whole town left. But I'm a little worried about tonight. I do think you're safer here than outside, but I can't guarantee you'll be safe here neither. Last night we had another incident.
Can you describe that incident?
He gets up and there is a box that he's placed next to the fireplace. And he grabs it. It's a wooden box. And he sets it on a nearby table and you can see he opens the top of it with a crowbar. Inside there are more layers of packaging. Boxes, burlap sacks, and more. We had a visitor. Resonance. Got into town. Found little food supplies we had left. I tried to just let it take what it could carry, but it found me. I was able to kill it nice and easy, but that's an omen. Something like this, they leave trails everywhere they go. And when it doesn't get back to the colony, well, the colony's going to follow that trail. He unfurls the last burlap sack. Onto the table comes the carcass of an ant, about the size of Little Monk, a foot long barbed pincers with an acrid pink-looking goo dried on them. It just falls unceremoniously to the table. You hear the crack of its exoskeleton. Just lies lifeless on the table, legs curled in the air.
Huh.
Ew.
Was this size before resonance, or did resonance make it this big? Is it normal to find these things like this?
This is, I would say the first I've seen, but technically the first I'd seen was when it came out the mines the other day. They're not supposed to be that big, and they do get bigger.
I'm like looking at Jack, kind of like, what the fuck? Because like I know he goes hunting out in the wilderness and stuff.
And I'm shaking my head like I've not seen something like this out here before.
They are still affected by the crystals.
How often do you see these?
Well, the first time was the night before the town evacuated, when those few went down into the mines and tried to bring back crystal, and this is what chased them out. But a whole colony. Since then, the colony hasn't bugged us because the whole town left.
Bugged us.
Bugged.
But now, this one knows we're here. At least he knows I'm here. And they're gonna come looking for it.
You gotta mark off the scent. You gotta scratch off his scent trail so they can't follow it.
If I knew exactly where he came from, I'd do just that.
Is there enough room for us to stay in this building? What is the best situated building for us?
I think right here's the best. I've set up an area around here where we can keep the crystals illuminated, at least for now. It's a shed out back that's got a well in it. And then there's more wells across the village, and they bring up crystal from the ground. And then they just need to be turned on and used basically lightning. As long as there's energy going into it, those crystals will illuminate and they'll push off the resonance.
And these crystals, they will last as long as the power lasts.
Well, no. Eventually, they stop giving off light. Even with power going in. That's why we gotta replace them so often, and we don't got too much more. There's still some around the village, so we can turn it on if we need to, but for now, I've just set it up so I can keep this building safe, just until Tobin comes home and can get going.
How long of a journey do we have to get to, Tobin?
If you're going straight to the observatory, a couple days. I'm actually surprised he's not back by now, but he must be found something. Maybe he'll come back tonight.
Maybe.
How much of a supply do you have left here?
I've been doing extra rationing. We used to keep the lights on all day, every day, across the village. Now I only turn them on if I hear something or if a group of you all walk in. I do a little test shot.
Will you be able to last by the time we leave and come back?
I'll be all right. This is my home.
Is it nighttime? Did we get here at night?
It's into dusk by this point.
Okay.
Does the goo glow, or is it just pink?
Roll me nature.
12.
First of all, no, it does not glow per se. It's just kind of got a very bright color to it, so it reflects the light from the fire a little bit more. You're not quite sure what it is, though it does look to be the same color or very similar color to the crystals themselves.
I think I'm gonna go sit on the roof, and I'll watch from there. If we're staying the night here, might as well have someone on lookout.
Okay.
Fair enough.
You can go out the second story.
Or Lenore
Or
can
up
show
the
you the way up the
chimney.
chimney. There we go. Same brain.
So I guess the plan is for us to set out at first light towards the observatory. Am I right?
I think so.
You guys have a map? I can show you about where it'd be.
I was just gonna ask. Be nice to not go out there blind.
It does look like on the way there would be one of the orbital landing locations that you were kind of headed towards. It's kind of still in that direction. It's just even further than that.
Oh. So we could head towards that orbital landing on our way towards the observatory. That makes sense.
Yes, that was on our list anyway. Top of our list, given that we didn't end up where we expected. So it might not be a bad idea to pop over there quick. I mean, it gives us a destination at the end, and then it's something to do in the meantime.
There's just something. I'll kind of huddle with the group. Oh, actually, Jorvin is Jorvin kind of away from us in the kitchen, still doing stuff?
He's kind of been in and out. You can find the moment when he's like a little bit more distracted.
Yes, that is the precise moment. In that precise moment, I'll turn to the group and I'll say, I know there's more to the story here, and I'm curious about how they started running out of rations and how these other people happened to be here just in time to start recruiting people and inviting them to go join them at this other location, this Order of the Crystallis, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overly suspicious, but everything seems to smell like sabotage to me now because of where we just came from back at Twin Rivers.
It's either sabotage or desperation in a moment of panic. We kind of went through the same thing, I like to feel. When Ilos fell, 4 days is not that long. If pure panic set over the town, resonance activity spiked, and even one person happens to mention a bastion where they're safe, it's hard not to fall for it, and then it's just a domino effect.
As that kind of sinks in, I'll turn to Jorvin and I'll approach him and I'll, as delicately as I can, I'll ask, you mentioned that there were people that didn't make it. I'm looking around this town and it seems pretty small to me. Did you lose less than half or more than half of the people here?
Less than half. It was only a handful, but when you live in a small village, you know most of them, at least by name.
Okay, sorry to bring that up, but thanks for sharing that.
You ever seen a pirate ship made out of metal that can fly?
No? Have you?
You have one? Have you been hiding that from us?
I wish. I'd fly right up to the observatory myself. No, that's how the order showed up.
In a metal boat in the sky?
Yeah, they dropped down all those flies. Just kept going.
Color me intrigued.
That came from the sky?
I guess it could be coincidence, but how would they know to come here right when the crystals are failing and people are panicking? And were they just going from town to town dropping flyers because Ilos fell? Or did they know something?
It seems like quite a project to have handy on such short order after Ilos fell.
I mean, if you could make a ship fly, I feel like you could make a lot of flyers. Maybe that's just me, though.
Well, yes.
You guys got printing presses? Or you handwrite your books and stuff?
I'm not much of a writer. Karmar's got some crazy stuff. We hired some people from Karmar to make the wells out here that pull the crystals up. Some smart guys made them. Same with the gear light beacon. And he points towards where you saw the lighthouse looking thing.
The place is called Carmire?
It's called the Arcane City of Karmarth. And they got really tall buildings, and they got ships that can fly, I guess. Who knows what else? It's exciting. I can't wait to get there.
Where is that?
I'll pull up my map.
This map's a little too small. It's pretty far. I think it's going to be 12 to 15 day journey by foot.
Ooh.
Well, I guess, yeah, we'd be able to see the buildings if we were that close.
I bet you could see the buildings from 100 miles away. They're going to be so big.
How tall are we talking?
I'd say at least 100 feet. Maybe 200. Maybe 250.
P.O. kind of goes silent for a moment as he just thinks back to the memory that he had when Ilos fell, where he's never seen a city like that before. His eyes just begin to wander.
It's a magical place. It's going to fix all our problems. You see, he just nods a little bit and pets Lil Monk on his shoulders.
Fix all your problems.
Joran, I know that the map that we have is insufficient, but can you at least point the direction where this city you speak of would be?
Yeah, it's going to be here. He opens up your map, kind of gives you an idea of where you are. He kind of gestures northeast.
Do we think that it might be best to try to convince him to come with us? Based on what he said, it seems like this place is getting more dangerous every night.
He may not want to leave with the chance of his son coming back while we are gone.
But if we're taking him to his son,
It might be best, looking at the current situation, for him to stay. And if we find son, we send him here.
We could leave a note, just like the son did, for the son if he returns. We could kidnap him, I say quietly.
I see no benefit in kidnapping.
Thank you.
Well, he doesn't fight when we're taking him to his son, allegedly.
weren't you recently kidnapped, Jack?
How'd that feel?
I just kind of squint a little bit and quietly cross my arms. Fair point.
I guess then let's get some rest unless we have other questions that we want to ask him. I don't want to press him too much. It seems like he's been through plenty already.
I feel like we've got the answers we need. We have the locations we need to go to. We have a dotted line along the way. And we just need sleep. And pray resonance doesn't break through our windows.
Why'd you even say it out loud?
Let's just jinx everything. Might as well.
I'm going to be going over my notes. If it's too soon to start to feel sleepy, then you'll see me wherever, in the corner, sifting through the notes that I've been writing and eventually falling asleep.
Jordan sets you guys up, first off, with some food you guys can eat. Probably some time before you're even quite ready to go to bed, but he's probably telling stories about Tobin, him as a little kid. They had this chipmunk that just kept getting in to all their grain. Tobin, it was his job to get it. And no matter what, he kept on trying and he kept on failing to capture this chipmunk. He told him at once if he kept at it and he got that dang chipmunk, he'd get him a pet. And then he tells you that next week he came up to him with a box, but not one chipmunk, but two chipmunks were in there. And that's how they got Little Monk, was that he had to get a pet for Tobin after catching the chipmunks. There's so many just endearing stories, and he's just constantly talking about how much he loves his son and how excited he is to see him back.
Where did you get Little Monk?
And what does he eat?
Just about anything. Tosses him some jerky, a potato, just a little chunk of potato from the stew. Little Monk's just chowing down on it immediately.
I asked where did you get him?
Traveling trader, actually. I was thinking more fish or something, but when I found it, it's hard to say no. He sets you guys up as comfortable as you can be. The building itself is not that massive. There are a couple different rooms, but they're mostly connected. And then upstairs, there is Tobin's room as well as Joran's room. Joran lets you know that he's going to go up into his room and be watching the village from the second story window, just keeping an eye on things for a little while. He basically is like, feel free to get some sleep, and he'll wake one of you to keep watch so he can also sleep at some point.
I'm gonna head to the roof.
Dibs on the couch.
Is there any used up crystals laying around anywhere?
There's none like in the house, but if you're able to bring it up, Joran will grab some for you.
I'm guessing there's some lit up ones in the house, right?
Nope, nothing's lit up right now. Just normal candles. There are ones that are ready to be lit.
So they're just like sitting in a mechanism that will then give it power?
Yep. And there's like wires connecting these things. You even see him go out into the shed at one point and turn on the lights, and he probably shows you all how to do it. It's as easy as it's just a big crank wheel. It basically is generating power and sends it to all the different lamps, and they all start to illuminate. All the ones they're connected to, that is.
I just want to take a good look at one of the spots that's holding one of the larger crystals and just call out to Bjorg. Bjorg, do you mind?
Doing what exactly?
Come, take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think maybe there's some way that you could make something like this, but we bring it with us?
Like a portable bug zapper.
Sure.
Just take one. Just take it.
We shall ask and make sure. I do not want to leave him with any less defenses.
Fair enough.
I'm sure he has more.
Yeah, well, it seems that we'll have time in between here and the observatory or the next crash site, so I might as well take a look at it, give me something to work with on the road.
I think it might be very beneficial for us in the future.
Fingers crossed.
And I'm just going to keep staring at it for a little while. Let you be.
Y'all spend some time. Gets a little bit darker out. Joran has illuminated some lamps around the village, but not the pink lamps, just some normal flame lamps, just to make sure that people can see things, especially around the house, especially that you guys are there. He's a little bit more wary even. You can see he's a little bit more on edge than he was earlier, most likely due to, as he said, him finding this ant the day before. As y'all are settling down, relaxing, Lenore, you're on the couch, laying here, trying to sleep, and there is just a little bit of light coming from a flickering lamp just outside this window. And all of a sudden, there is just a slight shadow that comes across your face. And then it's gone, and the lamp is still illuminated outside. A moment later, Jack, you're hearing sound of tapping. Very quiet, a skittering coming up the side of the building. Looking out, you start to see to the north, there is one of these wells that Joran was talking about, one of these crystal wells. And there's some movement in the darkness. It's just bright enough as this movement continues to grow. This sound of skittering continues. You start to see that dozens of these foot-long ants come out of the well itself to the north. You watch as they jump into the vat filled with crystal, and they start to devour the crystals themselves. There's suddenly a loud bell coming from the other side of the roof, and you look over and Joran is tolling this bell. Colony's here! They're all over the town! Little Monk, get out here! We gotta keep him off the wells! And you all watch as Little Monk gets up off of his little comfortable spot and dashes up and out of the fireplace. I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh, shit.
Jack's going first. What'd you get?
30.
13 total.
6.
13.
12.
12.
Jack, you are first, but also you are the first to see that the lay of the land around this building is there are 4 of these wells, one to the north where you just saw all of these ants pop up. From here, you are quickly scouting out the rest, and you can see the glowing pink little bit to the east and the west as well, where you see 2 other of these wells. And then to the south, where you saw the lighthouse looking thing, there is another one at pretty much the same time. After these ants erupt from the northern well, and then the bell starts ringing, you see more erupting from the east, the west, and the south. So you see that there are 4 different colonies all around these different wells around the village. Right now, they look like they're in, you could call them swarms, colonies. Jack, if you had to guess, you would say 50 at each.
That's like 250 square feet of ant.
They are crawling all over each other. They are all over the well. In this darkness, Jack, you can see that if you were close enough, you could turn on the well. You'd just be covered in ants.
I guess I'm gonna bonus action dash. That's gonna be my first step. And I'm going straight towards the east. I assume that that's where I would see first. After like kind of clocking everything, I'm like, all right, I gotta just get to the one that looks kind of difficult to get to and use my movement to get to that well. And I'm kind of jumping right into the fray of ants.
Yeah, you're fast enough to get there.
Excellent. Yeah, I would like to turn on the well, please.
You rush into these ants. They're already starting to climb on you as you have to kind of push around them. They are climbing up the trees nearby, the nearby buildings. They are making them no longer look white because of how many ants. They're covering them entirely. But you are able to push through, grab this big gear, and just start moving it. I need an athletics check for me, please.
19.
So how activating the well works is you're going to do a base 15 damage plus your athletics roll.
Damn.
So that is 34. You see that this light illuminates, and it is bright. Not only is it illuminating the well that you are at, there are other lanterns nearby that are all connected to this. And so this whole area is bathed in light, and you hear a chorus of cries almost from all of these ants, and some of them just start falling off of the walls, unable to keep themselves up. You do a very big chunk.
I think that was like 45 feet to get to there. Do I have to keep running the thing, or can I use my last 15 to try and get away from the ants?
I'll let you decide. So it's like more like a wind-up toy where if you like wound it up so it started, but then it'll stop again. So it's almost like for this round of 6 seconds, you have started it and then left. So if you wanted it to continue running, you'd have to go back and do another action kind of thing.
If I can, I'm going to try and use my 15 to try and get up and away from the ants. I don't know how high things are, but just like onto a ledge or something.
Yeah, there's like a staircase run up the side to like a back porch. You're able to just kind of use that staircase to jump up onto the roof.
And I'm calling back to the group. The wells work. Be fast and strong. Go team.
We are to Poppy with Santos on deck.
I'm actually going to use my Radiant Sunbolt. Poppy summons that ball of light and throws it at the southern swarm.
Yeah, roll me to hit.
17.
17 hits.
6 damage. And I'm going to spend a focus point to do it again as a bonus action. 21.
That hits.
8 damage.
Couple of these blasts hitting into these ants. You see that all of these ants have a similar pink, acrid looking goo coming from their mouth, but this time it is much more viscous because they are alive and it has not dried. And as you collide with a couple of these with that bright white light, it bursts with that pink and almost explodes into groups of these ants, taking some of them out.
Oh, and I can use this attack as using the extra attack feature. Wait, so can I do this 3 times?
Actually, you get to do it 4 times.
Oh, word. Okay, I'm just gonna keep lightning bolting. Okay.
Nice.
19.
That'll hit.
11 damage. And then for my last, 13.
13 misses, unfortunately.
Ah, okay.
You're just like leaning out one of these windows, or are you getting out of the building, or are you just doing it?
Oh, yeah, I should have. Poppy basically went out a window and on top of the roof.
You see Joran is up here. Joran has that same rifle out that you saw, and he's just like scanning the area, and Little Monk has taken to the skies. And you are just able to rain down this light from the roof. Santos, we are to you with Tevin on deck.
I'm going to move out of the building and then take up into the skies. So I'll move towards the east. 10 feet of movement takes me to the front door. And then I'm going to fly up 15 feet in the air, and I'm gonna basically fly horizontal with my glaive out. And as I move towards them, I'm just gonna kind of spin and slice them as I fly past with my glaive. 19 plus 1, 20 to hit, because I did Great Weapon Master, so that's -5.
Yeah, that'll hit.
The swarm will take, oh my gosh, max damage, 23 points of damage.
As your glaive goes through the ants, you quickly realize that you're not hitting as many as you'd like to. There's so many here that you're not quite able to make as much contact with this particular weapon.
Noted. I'm going to use like the last remaining 10 feet of my movement to just go straight up. It'll be about 15 feet above them.
So you go a little bit up. You see that a couple of them were trying to jump off of each other onto you, but you were able to like float up a little bit out of the way. And that means we are to Tevin with Lenore on deck.
Okay, if I have a way to get out from where I am, I want to start running to the north crew, seeing that Jackal to my east is taking care of that group there. I want to run north.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to use up my full 30 feet to get within 10, 15 feet. And on the way, if you want me to use it as an action, I'm going to action surge to load up the last 4 of my flame rounds.
We can say you would have done that previously, basically, like knowing that these things were around, just have them in the gun ready to go.
Yeah, so I'm putting in the last 4 flame rounds that I have, and when I first see that group, I am just setting off 2 shots at them.
Okay, yeah, so you need dex saves from both?
Yes.
Fail either way.
Okay.
I got a 10 on the higher one. They'll take, we'll see how much, and this is all fire damage.
18 altogether.
It is unfortunately like a kid with a magnifying glass, but to a greater extent, and you're basically just coming out with big bursts of flame. You ignite part of like a hay bale nearby that a bunch of them happen to have been crawling up and over, trying to get back towards the well. Again, there's just so many of them here, but you ignite a bunch of them. They start falling to the ground.
How many more are there?
In front of you, you didn't even take out half of them, so a lot.
I am action surging then. I'm another 2 rounds coming at them. If they can go ahead and do another 2 saves, please.
2 more fails. I got an 8 on the higher one that time.
Damn, brother.
21 this time. 21 fire damage.
You definitely have destroyed much more than half of them. There's not that many remaining. Slowly walking forward, just shooting with each step, another blast of flame that just collides more and more. They start coming at you. You're blasting them out of the air. They just get engulfed in flames and fall carcasses next to you.
You all just see part of the town just erupt in flame. It's like a fire tornado back there.
It's like lightning striking because it's pretty dark out, like when there's just big bursts of bright light. We are to Lenore, and then Bjorg, you're on deck.
All right, I am on the couch, so I'm assuming right next to the fireplace. So I'm gonna fly straight up the fireplace and look around from top of the chimney. Can I see if the northeast or south looks most killed?
I'll let you know north is the worst, but they're all pretty close. They're all been dealt with pretty handily so far, but no one has touched this one to the west.
So I'm just going to spin around in a circle and see which one, and with my hand pointed forward. And I stop spinning, pointing at the one to the west. And so I'm gonna clap my hands together and rub them together like friction. And then I'll hold my right hand back like I'm pitching a ball and lift a leg up, but I'm in the air, I'm flying. And I throw it like a baseball. And I'm casting, with a quicken spell, Fireball. Also, I'm gonna empower it. I'm doing all the meta magic.
Okay. I did crit on the save.
You bitch. Oh, as my reaction, silvery barbs.
Okay. That'll fail. I'm assuming that'll fail. It's only a 12.
Yeah. Okay, well, I rolled a 2, so as I'm casting Fireball, something happens.
Uh-oh.
Roll me a D100, please.
We get the chart.
Oh.
13.
This is from Melody over on our Patreon. Lenore, where are you right now?
I'm on top of the chimney, like my toes barely grazing the top of the chimney.
You throw this fireball. You feel yourself getting taller. And those of you who are on the or around can see that Lenore grows to an average human height.
Whoa.
And completely loses her wings. You do not have the ability to fly for 1 minute, and you are human.
You're a normie. You made yourself a normie.
But yes, you no longer have the ability to fly. What do you look like?
Yeah, I think I just look like myself, but my hair is no longer flying in silver. It's like a silver wig, like a cheap wig. And my wings are costume wings with straps over my shoulders.
Poppy looks up and is like, whoa. What did you do?
I can't fly anymore. What the fuck? I'm like sort of like wobbling on top of the chimney.
Easy.
And my voice is deeper.
Do you want me to get you down?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I gotta roll my damage.
33 fire damage.
Whoa.
It is a massive explosion. You guys see these 4 big bursts of flame from the north, and then all of a sudden there's a much larger burst of flame coming from the west as Lenore drops this fireball onto this group, annihilating easily more than half of them.
And then I will give the bonus reroll to Santos. I think would be the closest to me that I can see.
And then so for my action, I will grab a invisible thing in the air, yank it down, and bolt of fire comes down at that same swarm. For firebolt, 15 to hit.
15 hits.
12 fire damage.
The swarm to the west looks most destroyed of all. Only a few ants still trying to climb up and into the well.
Let's get you down from there.
Yeah. Why am I a human again?
Poppy takes you down off the chimney. He's like, you better be careful. I look at your outfit. What does your outfit look like?
It is just like a purple dress that she batted fairy wings to.
Poppy does laugh as she pokes your costume Party City wings.
Yeah, you can see like dark brown hair like poking out from her wig.
All right, we are to Bjorg.
Coming out of one of the spare rooms where I was sleeping, I'm just going to witness everything that's going on the battlefield right now through this window, hike it on open, and just try to crawl out. Jack, are you finishing that one off?
I hope so.
And I saw Santos leap for the south one after Poppy's beams. Santos, how do you feel about taking out the west one?
I'm gonna do my best, but I don't know. I'm not as effective as all the other fires that I'm seeing being erupting from people.
That is okay. I saw the explosion. I feel like they're dwindling. Just take a swing. And looking at Santos, it's almost like I wave my hand in front of my own vision in perspective and grab you out of the air. And then I take a pebble, one of my gems, and like a magic trick, I just smack my hand into my gem, load it in, and I shoot the gem. It's a little sapphire over to the west swarm, and I'm casting Vortex Warp on you.
Whoa!
I magically twist the space around another creature I see within range. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, but can choose to fail, or the target is teleported to an unoccupied space of my choice that I can see within range.
Why haven't you used this sooner?
I just got it. I'm sorry.
I think I close my eyes as I start to feel this coming, and I just say to myself, I trust Bjork, I trust you, I trust you. Ah!
For some reason, you feel very small for a second, and then you open your eyes and you're 75 feet away looking at the flaming remnants of this west swarm by the well.
Oh, got it. That's why you said that. Okay, makes sense now.
The swarm size that was in front of you a moment ago was like 4 times the size of like 5 that are still here on this west one that you open your eyes to. It's like much more manageable.
I figured the others can take out the remnants of south and north, and then we have someone up close for west to do the final swing.
From that, you hear on the roof, "Where do you need us?" And you hear the rifle cock, and you see Lil Monk is circling overhead. They're going to make their attacks from a range, and you just need to let me know where they're shooting.
Take them to the south. Finish them off.
Rocky, roll me a d10, and Vince, roll me a d10.
I got a 9.
I got a 10.
Oh my God.
Hey, yo!
You see this beautiful synchronous motion. Joran dives off the edge to like set up the rifle on the side of the very edge of the roof and takes a shot right into the well. And you can see an electricity fueled bullet come out. It shoots, it ignites, and all of this pink flame starts to erupt. And then there's another shot from above from Little Monk going right into the pink, and it just explodes even more. And you destroy all of the ants at the southern well.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
One down, baby.
The ants' turn. We're gonna go location by location. You see the ants to the north. They continue to devour at the well. You're hearing metal breaking, shattering different metallic pieces. To the east, Jack, you no longer being in range, hear the same thing. You hear it much worse. Santos to the west. I'm gonna ask Bjorg, did you put him right next to the well or a little bit further away?
Probably right up on it.
Okay, that's arguably best. There are just a few of these ants here, Santos. Most of them are still on the actual well itself, but one or two just get up and under your armor at your ankles. You're taking 3 piercing damage.
Ah!
Santos, it is so weird here. Now that you're closer to one of these wells, you being the one closest to it, you start to see that a big mechanical thing that's constantly pulling these crystals up when they're active. But that means there is this tunnel next to it going downward. And you're starting to hear more and more skittering, and it's getting louder as you see more ants coming up and out of the well around you. Tevin, you see the same thing near you. Jackal, you see the same thing near you. Poppy, you watch all of the ones that just got destroyed to the south are all but replenished with more and more of these ants coming out.
Does this normally happen?
I've never seen this before, but I've never seen these ants like this before. So keep at it. And you hear the gun cock once more. We are back to the top of the order with Jack.
I'm gonna hop down and try and do the well spring again. Start cranking.
You want to do anything bonus action or anything like that as well, or just cranking? Raging would give you advantage.
Oh, sure. I'm pissed at these ants. Why not?
Yeah, roll me athletics.
I'm glad I had the advantage because the first one was a natural one. So total 15.
You see another just massive chunk of these just fall to the ground, kind of pushing them away from you as you again have to wade through the carcasses just to get here, as these other ants look like they're trying to get up and onto you as there's more than ever.
Does that count as an attack so that I could get my sneak attack damage?
If you want it to be an attack, I'll let you do the extra damage if it counts like you used reckless, so they will have advantage on you if you stay.
Fuck it, sure.
Okay, roll me the extra damage.
6 extra damage.
Cool. We are to Poppy with Santos on deck.
I'm going to do my 4 attacks again. I'm going to spend another focus just to get that out of the way. All right, so we're going to do 4 Radiant Sunbolts. I'm going to rile them off. I rolled a 22.
Hit?
Only did 5 damage with that one. 13 doesn't hit.
No, doesn't hit, unfortunately.
19.
Yep.
8.
Wonderful.
And then the last. Oh, natural 1.
Unfortunate. Too many of these bursts of light and all of these coming out, you're getting confused because there are so many moving bodies and some of them are moving, but they aren't alive. They're being pushed away by the others and you collide with a big group of just carcass that has already been destroyed. But the others do make purchase. Again, these little fireworks show you're putting on as they're starting to like burst with this pink energy from inside.
They just keep coming.
Santos, we are to you with Tevin on deck.
This swarm of ants right in front of me, I'm going to try my darndest to take them out. I'm going to attack at advantage, and I'm going to use menacing attack. First attack, 18 to hit.
Hits.
You will take 15 points of damage. My menacing attack will add a d8 to that. So +4, 19 points of damage from my glaive total. So I swing with my glaive, trying to eliminate the swarm that's on fire.
You're able to collide with a decent chunk of them. There are so many coming up and out that it is easy to hit some. But again, you're not quite as effective as you want to be here.
I'm not good at this. I need to set everything on fire. And I'm going to leap up and fly. I'm going to be 20 feet up in the air.
Okay.
I'm a pole arm master. So I'm going to use a bonus action to strike with the other end of my pole arm. I am going to also great weapon master this attack. Just kidding. 3 to hit.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Misses. And I take up in the air and fly, as I described earlier.
One last heroic swipe that just doesn't connect with anything.
No.
Jump into the air. Tevin, word to you. Lenore on deck.
I guess I'm going to try to reposition myself closer to the building to just stabilize my arm a little bit better as I try to line up one of my shots where I can hit like the most at once. And with my second to last shot, I'm going to use a grip point to use a violent shot on it.
Okay, cool.
21 to hit for that first one.
Definitely hits.
And I will do a regular shot for the second one with my last round that I have in there. Oh shit, that's a misfire.
Oh.
I rolled a 2.
So we have a misfire on the second. Let's worry about the first, if you'd like.
With the violent shot, I just get 1 extra die roll. 13 altogether.
You quickly realize that this is much less effective than the flame, and you're only able to hit a few of them with this burst.
And then the second shot was the misfire, which this is the first time this has happened to me. The attack misses and the weapon cannot be used again until you spend an action to try and repair it. Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, good.
You hear from the roof, that gun's not gonna do you good. Just get the well moving.
I will try.
We are to Lenore.
I don't know how to even get to a well at this. I can't. I'm on the roof.
Don't. You're not going anywhere. Not with those wings.
All right. As a bonus action, I'm going to activate innate sorcery to give me advantage and increase my spell DC.
Hell yeah.
So my body will just sort of start to hum and glow a little bit. But I'm gonna do the spin around thing again, and I land on the one next to Jackal.
Okay, to the east.
To the east, I'm gonna send another fireball that way. 30 fire damage if they fail.
They failed, and that's crazy. There were exactly 30 left. Unfortunately, Jack, you did say you were staying with the thing, so I'm also gonna need a dex save from you. It just gets really warm all of a sudden as this ball of flame moves between the two alleys of this building, growing and growing louder and louder.
I got a 19.
That'll do it. So you take 15?
Yeah, so you'll take 15. Around you, Jack, all of these ants were crawling up and around you, up onto your head. They were trying to break through, and all of a sudden there's this big, massive furnace of heat around you, engulfs everything, including you, burning you, and all of a sudden there are ant carcasses falling off of your head as they have made this pile on top of you. And you see that there are no more around you, and no more seem to be coming up from the well.
Well, Poppy right next to me, you would smell this strong scent of cinnamon whenever I cast these fire spells.
Oh God, it's spice. My nose is burning.
We are to Bjork.
First, Vortex Warp, for anyone wondering, is Bjork's bearing Spender. Now to my turn. Seeing everyone, I'm the only one on the ground. Everyone is in the air on rooftops. I'm just going to run forward, pull out my ruby red gem and my little device out of my pocket and slap it in. Turn him on. We got Waffle popping out 5 feet south of me. He's going to crawl up with his itty bitty legs, and we are going to use a flamethrower attack. Can I have a dex save from the swarm?
That's a 14.
He fails. That's going to be 10 fire damage from Waffle.
That is a big burst of flame.
I am going to use the rest of my movement to run back away.
I need you to roll me a d10 and decide where Joran's shooting. Bjorg/Ryan, and then I'll also say Nigel. You get to choose where Little Monk goes and let me know. And roll that d10.
He's got to go to the south with me. Us gunny boys have to stick together. That's 6 damage.
6 to the south is very helpful.
Mine's going to be 9 to the west.
It looks like from quick glance, the north is definitely the one that is most overrun right now. And that means we have to do our damage. You quickly realize, Tevin, that with how many ants are here, they have broken this well completely and eaten all of the crystals. And then some of them rush towards you. That's going to be 22 piercing damage.
Holy shit.
There are so many of these ants. A couple of them get their pincers through the pieces of your metal. So they're biting at your gun as you're trying to fix it. There are none at the east. The ones at the south. How close is Waffle?
Right up on him.
Okay, Waffle will be taking 10 piercing, 10 to Waffle, and 10 to the well. Over towards the west, we have Santos as well as the swarm.
And I'm 20 feet high.
Oh, you are 20 feet high. Thank you for saving me doing the math. They're just going the damage to the well. You're hearing a lot of cracking, of breaking of this well. Just seeing it, you're like, I hope it would still work, but it does not look as damaged or destroyed, and they look like they're still attacking it. It's definitely struggling. We are to Jack.
You know what I say when I see 2 of my favorite water-based infrastructure? Well, damn. And I start running towards the north. I'm going to bonus action dash so that I can get over to where Tevin is. And I'm just going to start swinging at some ants. If I can, I'll go up onto the roof, I guess. But if not, I'm just coming up behind Tevin and I'm taking swings at the swarm.
You're welcome to do either if you'd like to be on the roof. It looks like they're having no trouble getting up there.
Then I'll be on the roof. I'm taking physical swings. I've got advantage. I've got a friend nearby. Wait, I don't have advantage unless I reckless. Here we go. 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
So 16.
You are able to hit a couple of these off of Tevin. But again, much like Santos, it does not feel like this is an efficient way of dealing with them, but you are able to make contact with a few of them. And the swarm looks maybe half of the full size as you watch all of the carcasses. We are to Poppy. And Santos, you are on deck.
Okay, I'm actually going to try and take a swipe with my boomerang.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I got a 9.
Okay.
Wah.
It's dark. You're standing on a roof, throwing it downwards. It doesn't feel like a normal way to throw a boomerang. You're normally throwing it up or across, so it does come back to you and lands on the roof nearby because it's close enough to grab.
I'm gonna make up for it with a radiant sunbolt. Oh my god, Poppy's tired. She got an 11.
Yeah, it's frustrating. There's so much going on. You're checking up on your allies, and we're just going for that last bolt does not connect.
Not much else I can really do.
We are to Santos and Tevin on deck.
I'm going to yell out to Joran. Should I just use the well or keep trying to take out these ants?
The wells worked great before. I just hope it still works.
Okay, I'm going to go straight for the well and I'm just going to crank it. I think these ants are pretty beat, but I think that if they land another attack on the well, they might destroy it.
Go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
19.
That is a massive hit. That's going to be 34 damage total.
Ooh.
As you are cranking the well, this gear continues to go. It feeling like it's not quite as sturdy as it once was. You feel like you're almost breaking the machine, but you have to crank this hard. And then the glow starts from these pink crystals. And you see all of these ants jumping up and at you, some grabbing onto your face, starting to die before they can get their pincers into you. As they fall to the ground, you can count how many ants are left.
I kick one for flavor.
Hell, I'll let you use your polearm master as a little kick.
Okay.
I know you didn't technically make an attack action, but go ahead and roll your secondary attack to hit. Bonus action.
Sure. I didn't weapon master that, so it's a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
4 points of bludgeoning damage.
You quickly realize that you are able to just slam down 2 more really quick boot kicks on 2 of these ants, and there's just one left just hanging out in the well, just chewing. Tevin, we are to you. You are covered in ants. All these ants climbing up onto the roof towards where Jackal is.
After taking that shot and my arm just doesn't fire, I'm going to switch it back over to the blade version of it and just start swiping all over my body, trying to like scrape my body almost. And I'll just do 2 big scrapes along my chest to try to get as many off as possible. So 2 swings on them basically. 10 for the first one.
That'll miss.
16 for the second one.
16 will hit though.
Oh my God. 4.
There's one particular one that it just keeps on trying to bite at you, and you keep on trying to swipe at it, but it's kind of like juking you out. And so you're focused so much on just killing this one, and you are able to swipe it and crack through its exoskeleton as it falls to the ground, as dozens more start climbing all around you.
For my bonus action, I would like to use my second wind. I'm going to tactical shift, so I'm going to move my full 30 feet. I can do that without provoking opportunity attacks. I'm sorry, it's only half of my speed, so 15.
Getting you out of this just grouping right now, probably for the best. There's a lot of them there. So yeah, you're able to run a bit out of the way. You do see that now it looks like they were trying to bite towards you as you were leaving.
I'm going to run in the opposite direction, just right by Jackal. Jackal, all I hear is, no, no.
Oh God.
We are to Lenore and Bjorg. You are on deck. You still got some in the south, which is looking pretty messed up. The north is still overrun as you watch as this sea of these things are rushing up the wall towards Jackal. Santos looks like he's fine over in the west. There's maybe one moving around still.
Oh, that's a lot. All right. I'm going to throw a chaos bolt to the north. Dirty 20 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
I will do thunder damage as this just boom explodes from within the swarm. 12 thunder damage.
You see a bunch of them are pushed off of the wall and fall down and collide very forcefully with the ground, cracking.
Stephanie, you okay?
No. What is this? Can you help?
I don't know. Why am I a person?
You're a who?
I'm human. I don't know. I can't fly anymore.
I don't even care.
Okay.
Just get these things away from me, please.
Bjork, we are to you.
Okay, we're gonna start with a waffle blast onto the south well. And depending on if it's still alive, will depend on what I do with my action. Can I have a dex save, please?
16.
That passes, though it is going to take half of 7.
Okay.
So that means I am going to run out into the street, so I am in range of both the south and the north swarms. We're spinning tough luck 3 times. It's 1, 2, 3 big spins, and we're going under the arm to the south for 1, north for 2. I'm casting Scorching Ray with my action, so I'm going to make 3 attacks. The first is going to be to the bottom swarm. Oh, 11. That's going to miss.
Unfortunately, miss.
Second to the north, natural 20.
Ooh, that'll definitely hit.
Third to the north, 23.
Both will hit.
So 29 damage total onto the north swarm.
Damn.
And you did just enough to destroy the rest of this swarm. What does that look like?
I just underhanded didn't even look because I was worried about Tevin flailing through the streets. So my eyes were on Tevin to the north. I just shot blankly to the south, hoping that the sound of Waffle's fire blast would help me connect. It didn't. I finally turn, seeing Tevin, I spin it again, load up that ruby, and I just hold it for an extra second, charge it up, and then give it that extra oomph it needs to completely just line through the rest of the swarms as they're chasing behind him, and follow it up with one quick one as I see one leap for Tevin's back. Snipe him midair.
Why is everything on fire?
It is on fire. Everything is on fire everywhere. You realize that you have destroyed the north swarm as well as the east swarm. The south is doing not so well. And it sounds like it's going to be doing worse as you hear a gunshot ring out from the rooftop. This time I need Anna and Luis. Both roll me a d10. Both of these are going to go towards the south unless one wants to take out the one in the west where Santos is hanging out. But
The one I'm making friends with?
yeah,
No.
so these are both going to the south.
Let's take this south.
9.
And 10.
Let's go!
Killer, y'all.
19
Everybody,
again.
Hell yeah.
chill.
That is crazy how well these two are doing with their damage. They are able to, once again, this same well, line up the same shot, light it up beautifully as the entire swarm is gone. We have just our one lone ant still in the west well, biting. Across the battlefield is carnage. There is death and decay. All of these antibodies, that sounds weird.
Antibody.
All of these antibodies across the village.
It's the resonance.
Oh, I'm so sad I didn't think of that. All of the resonance across the village, destroyed here, destroyed there, mostly burning. And from the north, we see Tevin running away towards Bjorg. Jack, you watch as all of these flames engulf these last few that are coming up towards you on this wall. And it's quiet. There's just the flames around until you hear another loud crack. And from the collapsed well to the north, Jack, there is a continued rumble. And all of a sudden you hear a massive shattering of rock, and it's as loud as an explosion. And Jack, especially you who can see in that direction, you see this monstrosity. Another one of these ants, but this one the size of a dinosaur, like a real life T-Rex, burst from the ground, but with chitinous armor plating, this massive thorax glowing and filled with a pink energy dripping this same nasty goop from its mandibles. The queen of the colony. And for today, that's a wrap.
Oh,
I wasted all my spell slots.
we get big bad for the next
See, this is why we save the focus points.
I hate this town. I hate this town.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to fight this.
Beautiful. Thank you all so much for listening. This was a ton of fun. And you can find more of us over on Behind the Scenes, patreon.com/castparty. But also, if you just want some more D&D, Luis, where can they find some more D&D?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. Hi everybody. I'm very proud and happy to announce that my dungeon mastering debut, at least the public debut, is going to be launching on a show called Tales Enrolled, and it's going to be available wherever you get your podcasts, and we're also going to have a video podcast available on YouTube. You can find us by searching on social media, Tales Enrolled Show. You can follow us on Patreon, on YouTube, and on the social medias. There's so much to this show that I'm so incredibly proud of, and I can't wait to share it with everybody. Christian Navarro is in the cast with me. Oscar Montoya is in the cast. Mariana Barron. These are my players, and introducing a brand new player, Camila Victoriano. So hopefully you guys come on board and check out Tales Enrolled.
Yes. When's the debut?
Oh, April 29th. Come with us. I think that you'll like it.
Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I can't wait for y'all to meet my boy Tobin. Boy's smart. Always had big ideas, but not always the brain to make those ideas reality. Or at least not good reality. When he was 7, he decided he was going to stabilize time. He built a device from some old watches he found in Anne's junk shop, some glowing quartz he nicked from behind a new guy's alchemy tent, and what I think was part of Bass Drop's prosthetic leg. Don't know how he did it, but the whole town skipped Tuesday. Dragons woke up with a beard. She never had one before. The next week, he was breeding jellyfish in my washtub. Claimed he was making them learn or something. He stole a magic bit of fire from Havoc Hopsack's lantern and some gelatin from Dubward's kitchen. Ended up with some weird creature he called Saint E Love. Tentacles everywhere, but it could walk and breathe air. It legally got adopted by Eric Five's family. That was before it got sued by Heather's fishing lodge for hunting fish off the docks without a permit. I think the aquatic fella is doing all right to this day. Heard he was doing a traveling act with Heather's Wet Circus. I heard the show was good, but I don't get out much, so haven't gone to see it myself. But Tobin forgot all about the jellyfish and ended up getting himself in a real mess. That obviously came from the muffin cannon. Jesky Fire is still asking me about that enchanted bakeware he stole. And Kaylee's bathhouse never recovered after those pressure tubes went missing. He showed it off at Jonas's picnic. Fired a cranberry scone clear through a watermelon. And then into Judgment Day's gazebo. I thought it was amazing, but Lexi called it culinary terrorism. She convinced Michael he had to pass a new ordinance. No weaponized baked goods within town limits. Tobin got down after that, felt bad and quiet, really. Spent a few days in Opti's library, whispering to a bowl of moss. Said it was named Ryan, and it understood him. I thought he was messing with me, but I swear I heard it lick its lips when it smelled one of Bubba's new ales. But Tobin got bored of that too. Just before he left, he had enchanted a stack of books to follow him around. One of them bit Winkle, but they had asked a dumb question, so kinda makes sense. I just never been more proud.